What if everything you've been taught about how to find peace, happiness, and love is completely backward? Not slightly off completely, fundamentally backward. What if the anxiety you feel, the relationships that keep falling apart, the quiet sense that something is missing, what if none of that is happening for the reasons you think? And what if there was a book, written over 50 years ago, that laid out a step-by-step way to completely rewire how your mind works, and it had nothing to do with positive thinking, hustle culture, or any religion you've ever heard of? That book exists. It's called A Course in Miracles. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, why millions of people say it changed their lives, and most importantly, whether it might be for you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what A Course in Miracles actually teaches in plain language, no spiritual jargon. You'll understand the single core idea that sits at the center of everything in the Course. You'll know why this isn't a religion, why you don't need any background in spirituality to benefit from it, and why some of the most skeptical, practical, show me the evidence people you've ever met swear by it. And if you've already heard of ACIM but found it confusing or intimidating, you're going to leave this video with a totally new way of looking at it, one that actually makes sense. This is video 1 of a 52-part series walking through the entire course, week by week. Let's start at the beginning. Picture this. It's 2 a.m. and you're lying awake. Maybe it's a relationship that ended badly. Maybe it's a job that drains you. Maybe it's just this low hum of anxiety that never fully goes away, no matter how much you accomplish or how many good things are happening in your life. You've tried things. Therapy, maybe. Meditation apps. Self-help books. Exercise. And some of those things helped a little. But here's the thing, you still feel like you're carrying something heavy. Like there's a version of you that's free and at peace and fully alive, but you can't quite get there. You can see it almost. But something keeps getting in the way. Now imagine someone says to you, the reason nothing has fully worked is because you've been trying to fix the outside. The job. The relationship. The body. The circumstances. But the problem was never out there. It was always in how you were seeing things. That's the moment A Course in Miracles begins. A Course in Miracles, often just called ACIM, is a self-study spiritual curriculum. It was written between 1965 and 1972 by a woman named Helen Schuckman, a research psychologist at Columbia University. Helen was, by her own description, highly skeptical and not particularly spiritual. But she began hearing an inner voice that identified itself as Jesus, and over 7 years she transcribed what became the Course. Now, you don't have to believe anything about that origin story to benefit from what's inside the book. The teachings stand completely on their own. The Course has 3 parts: the text, which explains the philosophy, the workbook, which gives you 365 daily lessons, 1 per day for a year, and a manual for teachers. The whole system is designed to do one thing: train your mind to think differently. And the core idea, the thing everything else builds on, is this: there are only 2 emotions. Love and fear. Every thought you have, every reaction, every decision, every grievance, every moment of joy, it comes from one of those 2 places. That's it. Love or fear. And the Course's central claim is that fear is an illusion. Not that bad things don't happen. Not that life isn't hard sometimes. But that the fear response, the sense of threat, lack, guilt, and separation, is based on a mistaken perception of reality. And that perception can be changed. Now here's where it gets interesting, because most people hear your perception can be changed and think, okay, positive thinking, look on the bright side. But that is not what ACIM is teaching. Not even close. What it's pointing to is something much deeper, and honestly, a little more radical than anything in the self-help space. The Course says that what we think of as normal consciousness, the way almost every person on the planet goes through their day, is a kind of dream. Not a metaphor. It means we are literally seeing a filtered, distorted version of reality that has been constructed by the ego, which is the part of the mind that believes in separation. Separation from other people. Separation from God or from love or from wholeness, whatever word works for you. And from that belief in separation comes every form of suffering, judgment, guilt, competition, loneliness, grief, fear of death. The miracle, and this is where the title comes from, is a shift in perception. A miracle in ACIM is not a parting of the sea. It's the moment your mind moves from fear back to love, from judgment back to innocence, from separation back to connection. Those moments are available to you constantly, every single day. That's what makes them ordinary, and that's what makes them powerful. The Course doesn't ask you to become someone different or to perform a spiritual identity. It simply asks you to be willing to see things differently. Here's a simple practice you can try today, taken directly from the spirit of the early lessons in the workbook. Find one situation in your life right now that's causing you stress, a person, a problem, a fear. Hold it in your mind. Then say this: I am seeing this through fear. I am willing to see it differently. You don't have to know how to see it differently. You just have to be willing. According to the Course, that willingness is everything. It's the crack in the wall where the light gets in. Do that once today. Just once. And notice what happens. Remember that person lying awake at 2 a.m. That feeling of carrying something heavy, of being close to peace but not quite there. A Course in Miracles says the distance between you and that peace is not a long journey. It's a shift in perception. And a shift in perception can happen in an instant. The Course isn't asking you to change your life. It's asking you to change the lens through which you see your life. And everything else, the relationships, the sense of purpose, the quiet in your chest, follows from that. That's what this series is. Over the next 51 videos, we're going to walk through the entire Course together, the big ideas, the teachings on forgiveness, on the ego, on love, on healing, all of it, made as clear and as practical as I can make it. If this landed for you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And drop a comment below. Tell me, have you heard of ACIM before? Are you just discovering it? I read every single comment and I want to know where you're starting from. See you in video 2.